But with this power, you become so much full of compassion. Then your attention goes from you to others. What you can do for others. How can you give them realization? And suddenly you discover that around you is so many destructive forces, so many disturbing forces, so many problems. Suddenly you find they disappear. If you can transform human being, but it's no question of transformation. I would say it is the question of evolutionary process. And when this takes place, you find you are transformed completely. And thousands have to be transformed. Thousands and thousands and millions. But somehow, America has a different type of approach to spirituality. They think if I don't take money, then something wrong with me. I must accept money. And they have told me so many things. Some experts came and told me, explained to me all the economics and all that which I don't understand. And they think that it should be sellable. Can't understand this kind of a thing. How much will you pay for Christ? How much will you pay for any saintly personality? Because its value cannot be judged. It's invaluable. Something that's the most invaluable for you is to know yourself. If you have not known yourself, you are still going round and round and round in the mad rush of thinking. Even Einstein, you'll be surprised, has talked about it, that he was trying to find the theory of relativity. And just he couldn't find it. So he went into his garden and was playing with the soap bubbles, and suddenly from somewhere unknown, that's what he says, the theory of relativity dawned upon him. And he called that unknown area, he called them by a name, you see. And that name is rather, to me, not so precise. But he says there is an area which you can exploit, by which you can understand for the future generation, for the future scientist. Where you get the ideas from there. And he said for that you must have a kind of a personality that can perceive that torsion area from where the ideas are coming. If he can enter into that area, you can get the full idea as to what is reality. He calls it cognitive. He says this is cognitive science. And such a person can tell you so many things which when you put it to the scientific test you'll find is absolutely correct. And this is what happened to him because himself was a realized soul. And many people like Newton himself was a realized soul. Abraham Lincoln was a realized soul. But they could not tell about it to others because nobody would believe, and anybody tried to tell anything, they just used to torture them. Every saint, real saint, has been tortured. Every Sufi has been tortured. In our country especially, many saints have been very badly treated. Also in other countries. Why? Because they are only one, and maybe people were jealous that how could they know so much, how could they talk about so many things. Now, with all this, now only thing, if I have done anything, is very simple, that I thought no use giving these realization to one or two persons, which was the tradition, to give to only one to one. But now, I felt it won't work out. We have to have it for the masses. And what I did was to find out a method by which I can give a mass realization. That's all. Which is a simple thing. And that is working, and it worked very well. As I said, in America, they just think of, this is another achievement of human beings, that they know about money. So, money, everything money. So they can't understand even spirituality without money. But in a place like, say, we can say Russia. Russian people had no freedom as you have. And they had oppression from all sides in their, as you know, the whole thing was a communistic country. And in that communism, they were completely oppressed. So as a result, they went inside themselves and tried to find out solutions inside. So when they saw me, just seeing me, I don't know how, thousands of them came. Now we are thousands and thousands and thousands of people in Russia alone, also in other some countries. When I see here, I'm just thinking in Russia we cannot put it in a hall, we have to have a big tent or Olympics where they had some sort of a thing like that. So the trouble is, we should give up this idea that I can find it for myself. This is very, very common. You cannot. This is the only evolution in which you have to get it from an enlightened person. You have to humble on this point, that I can't get it on my own. I can find my own way. You cannot. You'll be lost. You have to have somebody who is already enlightened. Now, how to get an enlightened person also? How to know? Because after realization you know the absolute truth. On your fingertips you can feel the centers of other person. If something is fishy, you can feel it. If somebody is cheating you can feel it. Everything. Your fingers speak. This is what Muhammad Sahib has said. At the time of resurrection, your hands will speak clearly. How can hands speak? This is how, because all these 5 fingers are the centers, 6th and 7th center.